my channel. My name is Judi and I am the Running So-and-so. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a continuing subscriber, welcome back. And if you haven't thought about subscribing yet, I do hope that you think after this video that you might like to subscribe. Well, I started by showing you what's on my sewing table and I don't know where to start. I have been thinking about my Make 9s for 2022. Now, the last time I said I would do a Make 9 was back in 2020 and I was doing brilliantly, and then we had a pandemic and then all I seemed to do was to make masks. Mask after mask after mask, and at 1100 I said stop, I've had enough. I was making these masks when my leg was up, because to make my decision on what it is I wanted to sew, I have pulled out the patterns that I have gone back to time after time after time, and for one reason or another I've not made them. And I am going to do a review of what I've sewn in 2021, because I don't think I'm going to have sewn enough. In my head I don't think I've sewn enough, but I think in reality I might have sewn slightly more. Now, I know there's a great urge amongst those in the sewing community to record your makes. Excellent idea. I for one need to start doing it more efficiently. Now, I have recorded some, and that is a job for this weekend, to have a look through and see what it is that I've made and see if I can put together a video on that. Now, I'm going to start with the pattern that I won in the prize draw at Buckwheats, and that is the Tilly and the Buttons Francoise dress. Now, I have not really sewn many Tilly and the Buttons patterns, so why don't I use this as the reason to get sewing a Tilly and the Buttons pattern? It looks the most delightful dress. It's really the sort of thing I think I would want to wear, and I have to say I was very giddy when the wheel stopped on a free Tilly and the Buttons pattern. And in amongst my stash I have found this beautiful fabric. Now, it says it needs something with a little bit of structure, and this is a bit of a cotton. It's heavier than a cotton lawn but lighter than a quilting weight cotton, and having never made one of these patterns before, I thought it would be an excellent fabric, and I bought it in Boys. And Boys, if you've not come across Boys, it's a thrift shop and it's based in the north of England, so I'm going to use that with that particular fabric. Now, the next thing I want to make is this beautiful jumpsuit. It is Vogue 9075, and I wanted to do it before Christmas, and when I got poorly with that awful tummy bug, I lost all my time. My father-in-law is 90 on the 28th of February, and we're all going to, hopefully, COVID levels allowing, going to go down to Oxfordshire where he lives, and we're going to be having the most wonderful family get together, and I thought it would be fantastic to wear it then. So this will be the first of my Make 9, and I am going to be making it in the beautiful Lady McElroy Prosecco Fizz, and I have it in the blue colourway, blue, pink, lemon and pale blue on the dark blue background. And again, I got this from Boys. I've always wanted to sew with Lady McElroy fabrics, and I've always been uncertain about buying them straight offline from Sherwood's, and I was fortunate enough to meet Sherwood's at the Festival of Quilts, but when I saw this in Boys I thought, let's buy that, it's beautiful. So that will be my very first of the Make 9s, and I'm going to pop it down there on the sewing machine. Another thing I want to make this year is something from Aduku's book on sewing with African wax prints, and it's the Etta Dress. Now, it's very hard to get a picture of the Etta Dress. I will take a picture of it and pop it in. I've just found it. It is in here. It's the Etta Dress, and this is the fabric that Aduku made up the Etta Dress in, and this will be a bit of a challenge. I've washed the fabric once and it's still got a lot of sizing in it. I'm going to hold it over so it fills up the camera screen, and I think that I will wash it again to try and remove a little bit more of the sizing. The sizing will be the wax and any of the starches or anything that were given or put into the fabric at the time of manufacture and bringing it over to this country. So I need to do that extra picture of I don't know what that is, just fallen out the back of my sewing book. It's all the plant labels from my garden. Oh, there it is. There's a picture of the Etta Dress on the back. And I'll link this book in the description box along with all the other patterns that I'm using. But this is one thing that I bought last summer, and for some reason, I don't know, I think it's that my life is so busy because obviously I try and be superwoman and do absolutely everything. I just run out of time. Now, another thing that I bought last year was the so that is one, is that two things I've put down now? Two things that I'm going to make. Let's put those down there. That's two of my Make 9s. Number 3 of my Make 9s is going to be the Ponte pants by Tessuto Patterns. Now this is a stretch trouser which I am hoping I can wear for work. And I have this beautiful stretch corduroy from Andrea at Beyond. Is it Beyond the Pink Door or Behind the Pink Door? Behind the Pink Door. And it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's got stretch in it. Hold on a minute, let me hold it up for you. Yeah, it's got a lovely bit of horizontal and vertical stretch. I'm not going to work out the percentage of that, but that is, I'm hoping that these will prove to be a lovely trouser that I can make for work. My job is working with 4 and 5-year-olds in a reception year 1 class. Now, number 4, and it's a good job it's number 4 because it says 4 on it, is the Atelier Scammet Jolyman Jumpsuit pattern. Now, I saw this and thought, oh my gosh, that is just delightful. Absolutely delightful. So I ordered it, and I also ordered this gorgeous piece of Atelier brunette viscose to make it in. And it has been sat at home since it arrived, waiting to be sewn. Have you got the theme here? This is not just a Make 9, it looks like a Make 9 D-stash. Number 5. Number 5, let's go over here, is another jumpsuit that I've shown you already. Using this beautiful, very slightly stretchable red needle cord from Bugweeds. I will put their Facebook page down. Do get in touch with Rebecca. She's got a lovely selection of fabrics. She just hasn't got her website sorted yet. But she will do. If you email Rebecca or message her on Facebook and say, do you have, she'll be straight back at you. It is the Coralie Biasson Astrid Jumpsuit. And I thought this would be absolutely perfect for work. Is the Criollo Jacket by Maison Fauve. It's a panel jacket and it doesn't require lining, it's a spring item of clothing. And So Much More, which is a new fabric store online based down in Devon, had this beautiful shell fabric, and it does actually have a fleecy lining. So it's shell on one side and fleece on the other. And I saw it, it popped up on her Instagram stories. I'll hold it up again for you, on her Instagram stories. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is just the sort of fabric that I need to have in my stash, because it's waterproof and showerproof, shell on one side and a lovely warm on the inside. And I thought, you know, for walking the dogs or whatever, I'm going to get some of that. And then realised that the Criollo Jacket, I call it the Criollo Jacket by Maison Fauve, would be absolutely perfect made in that. That is number 6. Number 7, and this is going to go towards Christmas time, is the Guilia top by Apolline Patterns. Obviously all these patterns are going to be linked in the description box below. Now this is where I'll talk at you at an aside, because as I've mentioned on my vlogs, I have been doing Duolingo French because I'm obsessed with France. I absolutely love the place, and it grieves me that I've not got a decent grasp of the language, and I can understand more and more in the patterns in French, but Google Translate is an excellent tool. And this is the Crepe Viscose by Atelier Brunette in River. And I think that that would be the most beautiful dress to make ready for Christmas. Just said, obsessed with France, France, France. Yep. So this is another Maison Fauve one, and this is the Blouson Sunset. Here we are on that side. It is just like a little summer jacket. And I have a choice of 2 fabrics with which to make it. These are all patterns that I have bought the fabric for, and the pattern, I just haven't made them up. So what better patterns to put aside for your Make 9? Now, I bought 2 choices of fabric for this. The first option was linen with a viscose, very viscose lining in the same colour. And then I thought, I don't necessarily think that that's going to work. And then Atelier Brunette, in their wisdom, brought out gabardine. Perfect. So I have the blush gabardine for the outer, and I have this, and I can't even remember what it's called, for the lining on the inside. I have got the binding, I've got buttons, I've got everything to match in, and it's all up on my board. My pegboard has got all my Atelier Brunettes on. That is what I will be making that particular dress out of. Last year, Maison Fauve brought out their own range of fabrics, which I fell in love with. And this is just a simple viscose lawn. Very simple, it's in a peony design. They call this peonies. And they also brought out this rather beautiful dress, and it is the Byzantine dress. Now, I can tell you now the pattern instructions in this envelope will be in French and English. Let me show you. The Blouson Sunset, I have a feeling, is only in French. But just for example, this is page 11 of the instructions. On one side, your instructions are en français, and on the other side, en Angleterre, in English. So please, do not be frightened to buy a Maison Fauve pattern. You will find that they make up exceptionally well. They're accurately cut. You just need to check the ease by popping on your tape measure and measuring it across for the size that you want. Seam allowances are included. And while we're sat here, we might as well just double check the Blouson Sunset, and I'm pretty certain that those instructions are not in English. No, they're not. They are only in French. I want to make more tempo tights by Green Star Creations. I want to make more Breton tops. I want to make more of the Je suis Marionnaire, which is the one with 2 little buttons on the shoulder like a true Breton, and that's that one here. I want to make the Adrienne top by Friday Pattern Company, and I am sure that as the year unfolds there will be more things that I want to make. I have a great selection of patterns already. I have pattern books that I can use, so I do believe that as I go through into 2022 I have enough material to sew. When I say material, I mean fabric, cotton, zips, the materials I need to produce a garment. So those are the main makes for 2022, but there is another make that I will need to do in 2022, and in this bag here I have the fabric. If you've been following me for a while, you will recognise it. It is the Atelier Brunette Peach Crepe. Here it is. I absolutely adore this, and I'm going to pop in a picture of me wearing the peach crepe with the Apolline Monica dress and my hat. So that made the outfit that I wore to Hannah's wedding, both the first time when she just had the initial ceremony with just 15 of us, and then when we had the party. and Tristan's announced he's getting married on the 22nd of October. So obviously, I have an excuse to wear my hat again, but I have to have this fabric. Except at the moment, I have no idea what I'm going to make with it. So I haven't included it in my Make 9s because it's a dress I've got to make. Going back to outfits, this outfit that I've got planned here, which is the Jolyman Jumpsuit. My nephew is getting married in August and I think this would be perfect. James and his fiancée are having their wedding in a warehouse, which will be great fun. And it's going to be a bit of a non-standard wedding, so they've basically said you don't have to dress up, you've just got to be comfortable. So I can go in flip-flops and a jumpsuit. Really fancying the idea of that. I think this jumpsuit would be absolutely perfect for that. So as you can see, the outfits I want to make are for purposes. That brings me to the end of my formal Make 9s and my plans for 2022. I do hope you've enjoyed what I've put together for you tonight, and I do hope that you will join me on my journey as I make these outfits. And when I do my videos, I do like to include elements of me sewing. So my aim this year is to video myself making these outfits and then put together a video of how I've made it and then publish that as an independent video as part of my vlogs. I've never done a sew along. I don't know how anybody would feel about me doing a sew along. It's just something that I've never thought would be perfect for me. But if you'd like me to do a sew along, please give me a comment below and let me know what you think. And I'm more than happy to do one. What I'd love to do is be able to probably do one for either the gable top, which is what I'm wearing. This is Gable Top by Jennifer Lauren Patterns, or for the Judi Marionette, which is the most delightful Breton top. I think it's just perfect. So if you fancy a sew along for that, let me know. Gable or the Judi Marionette. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.